And welcome back, everybody, to a super exciting edition of the TV show. My name is Jay Black, joined as always by Rhea Hughes, lovely and talented, and Angelo Cataldi, who is talented. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump right into things with a topic suggested by Angelo, and it's right up my alley because I have been, Angelo, fascinated by this summer. It's unbelievable. The movies that were supposed to be big blockbusters have not just flopped, but spectacularly failed, while these tiny little movies by these young upstarts have been like $400 million worldwide. It's crazy. But you found this interview with the guy who did the movie Obsession, Curry Barker, who's 26. He made it for $750,000. It has done $400 million worldwide. And they asked him, they said, what should we know about Gen Z? And he said, we're tired of slop and we want good original movies back. And the question, Angelo, are audiences finally catching up to your viewpoint that we need good stories well told?
You understand that the audience always decides in the end because there's box office. If a movie's a hit, if somebody's put all their money into a movie and they make money, everybody's thrilled and they want to make more like that. And when people stop going, they stop doing it. So we can bitch on this podcast every day, every time we do one, that the movies are all explosives, pyrotechnics, all that crap. The people have finally decided they're done with superheroes. They're done even with animated junk. They're done with that crap now. They want a story. And this guy Barker, he's, since I sent this to you, he's almost near $500 million for a movie. The budget was under $1 million, and it's $500 million. So they came to him after he made the movie. I read this interview, and they said, listen, here's $10 million. Do whatever you want. The next movie, we don't have to greenlight. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Because they made so much money on Obsession. And that's when he said, we're sick of the slump. Tell a good story. And it gives me enormous hope that the audience is finally convinced these studios via the box office that it's time to tell a story again instead of blowing up another building.
Rhea, do you agree with this? Because you and I have very similar tastes. We're not like Angelo. We don't get mad if it's an animated movie or a superhero movie. But do you think that there's a pendulum swing going on right now?
So I think two things. One thing I want to say is when I was reading about Obsession, what makes it even more remarkable that it's been such a success is that it's a horror genre, right? It's horror. So they said generally people it never gets good word of mouth because people don't like to leave movie theaters disturbed, which I found. I'm not a horror fan. So the fact that it says, but you can do it. I've just watched Project Hail Mary, not once, but twice. That's how much I love it. Now that movie was made for $200 million and it's already made $680 million worldwide. So it's been, that. It's a great. I love it. It's just to tell people out there, go watch it. You will not be disappointed. Now, The Sheep Detectives, which I loved, I told you guys I love that movie, did not do well at the box office. That I think only made about 100. The minute they put it on streaming, within one day, it was the #1 streamer.
Yeah,
and it's a good. They both have plus 95% ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. So yes, if you make a good story, which both of those movies, in my opinion, are terrific original stories, you can make money. And Ange, they're going to make money this summer. I know you don't like superheroes, but Spider-Man's coming out. And I mean, I'm a massive Spider-Man. It's the one movie thing that I've always loved since childhood. My son loves it. They're going to crush on that one. There's no doubt. But you're right. All these other movies, I don't care for them. Good stories, well told, will still make money.
My daughter already has tickets. So if a 15-year-old girl is buying tickets to Spider-Man, I think Tom Holland was a good choice. But Angela, you know what this reminds me of? I'm a student of movie history. And in the 60s, there was a dominant form of entertainment called the musical. And they
Yeah.
were giant budget movies that had a lot of success early in the decade. And by 68, it was Dr. Dolittle making $0, Rex Harrison coming out and talking to the animals. And it took Dennis Hopper
Hmm.
and the revolution of the late 60s with Easy Rider to come along and say, no, no, the youth doesn't want these big bloated experiences. They want stories that resonate with them. And I feel like that's the moment we're going through right now.
Well, I watched Obsession, all right, because I wanted to see what this obsession was. And all I could think of was you, Jay. All right. Now, you're not 26
No,
like Curry Parker, right? But you're a screenwriter. He's a screenwriter. He realized he's not that great looking. So if he's ever going to be the main character in a movie, he's going to have to write it himself, right?
sure.
And he did. And he's not a great actor either, which I'm not saying you're not a great actor,
Sure.
Jay.
No, I see what you're
What
saying.
I'm saying is you could be the next Curry Barker if you just came up. The only thing that made him more than Jay Black, he found somebody to give him $750,000 to make this movie. And
Right,
then I guess he went to the shows, the contests, cons, things like that. Showed it and got traction, and then
right.
the big studios bought it. We're just one story. You're just one story away from being the next obsession in
Hey,
America. So
I'm gonna
stop
go.
doing stupid things like this podcast and sit down and write a great story.
I'm going to do what Clint Eastwood did, direct myself at 90 in the mule having multiple threesomes.
Really?
He did. He did. Rhea, that was a real thing. He directed the old movie, and he had multiple threesomes in the movie at 90. And we're
Yeah.
supposed to watch it and go, that makes sense. That tracks. I could see that happening.
Just to let you know, Angelo, I've still been working on my book. It's going slow because I've just, but I literally already see that I'm going to team up with Jay and we're going to do a screenplay and we're going to sell it to Netflix. And
Great.
you will be in the movie, Ange, because you're already in the book.
Yeah.
Oh, I am?
Let-
Okay. Because I set up a nice sex scene for me. That'll
No, you're on the radio in the car all the time when
a
they're
lot of old
driving.
at something. Bring it back, Rhea. Come
I
on.
like that you said nice sex scene. Like people are like, you know what? I like that Cataldi sex scene, but it wasn't gentle enough. All right. Let's move on to one of these stories that I think goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about, which is the live action Moana, which was supposed to be Rhea a slam dunk for Disney.
Yeah.
The story I heard, and I don't know if this is true, that they had already sent out the advertisements saying #1 movie in the world so that it was
Wow.
ready
Wow.
to go on Monday
Wow.
because they expected that. And then they had to retract it at the last second. I don't know if that's true, but it was supposed to do over $200 million. It did 40 million in the US and
Ooh.
under 100 million worldwide. The
Ooh.
Rock was in it, just like he was in the animated musical. And I just got me to thinking about The Rock's career as of late. And if you look at the movies that he's done, he did The Smashing Machine, which was the lowest opening he ever had at 5.8 million, made 21 million worldwide. He did the Black Adam movie that didn't break even. He did that terrible Red One
Oh,
action movie
Oh,
that
brutal.
was brutal. He used to call himself franchise Viagra. Is that the case
yeah.
anymore? Did The Rock burn out? Is he no longer a star the way he used to be? Rhea.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing is I loved Moana. I remember going to see it with Clark but I had zero. I don't get the live action stuff, so it didn't work for me. Here's the problem with The Rock. He hasn't gotten good press in the past couple years as being incredibly difficult on set. That
Yeah.
the one movie, the Santa movie that he did, that it didn't get out in time for the holidays because he was repeatedly 7 or 8 hours late on set.
I've heard
So
this. Yes.
yeah, that he's just, and that he writes into his contracts that he has to be the perfect hero. Well, the thing about heroes that people love in movies is imperfect heroes. That's what makes you fall in love with them. So yeah, I
Right.
think he's playing the same character. It's the same shtick, and we all loved him about 10 years ago. I saw him in the Gridiron Gang
Right.
We actually got a chance to interview him. And by the way, when we interviewed him on the corner of Fifth and Market outside on a very hot day, Angelo decided to take the day off. It was me and Al.
Yep.
And he could not have been more gracious. I will just tell you, like when I read all these reports, you wonder if, that was 15 years ago, that if the success has gone to his head, because I've been around some superstars. Angelo and I were lucky in our business. He was incredibly gracious, incredibly friendly, but I think his off screen reputation has people not liking him, and I think that's hurting him.
Is that true for you, Angelo, or do you think it's the on-screen
Yeah,
stuff more?
there's a basic problem with The Rock, who we got to keep in mind was a wrestler. He came in through the wrestling ranks, where there's not a lot of need for range. You're either a good guy or you're a bad guy, and you develop that. And I have not seen in his long and extremely successful movie career that he has displayed an enormous amount of range. In fact, there's a famous quote from Pauline Kael, the great film critic, who is evaluating Katharine Hepburn. And she said, she has all the emotional range from A to B. One person. And I really do think the big one for me was the Smashing Machine, because that was him. Moana's a name. That should have sold anyway. It was probably that one isn't big because people didn't like it that much, I'm guessing.
Right.
But the Smashing Machine was The Rock. You want to see The Rock play a guy similar to who he was as a wrestler, go see that. No one wanted to see it. That says his 15 minutes, which turned into 15 years, may be on the back end now.
Yeah, I think at a certain point, if you're just coasting by on charisma, your off-screen, what you said, Rhea, is important because a lot of that charisma is based in people's perception about you,
Correct.
not your movies. So I think that's important. All right. One last thing I want to touch on is the Emmy nominations, which dropped last week, and we didn't talk about them because they came out the day after our show taped. But The Pit is medical drama. We've talked about it. It's on HBO. It's in its second season. And I didn't even realize it had gotten this many, 25 nominations. The Hacks got 24. And the big one, I mean, I know we liked season 5. We're talking about season 4. The Bear completely shut out. 0. Nothing for Jeremy Allen White or Eben Moss Bacharach. So they both got snubbed. So here's my question, Angelo. Is there a shift going on with television similar that we're seeing in the shift to movies, where we're going towards less, in TV's case, prestige-based and more story-based kind of things, crowd pleasers versus elevated television, in your mind?
No, I don't. The Emmy nominations were ridiculous. It's that simple. And I think most of these awards are ridiculous now. I think there's an agenda. Bring the biggest names in because they'll sell more, we'll get higher ratings, that kind of stuff. I'm dealing here with a serious personal matter. My wife indicated to me, she confided to me this week that she has a mad crush on Noah Wyle.
Really?
And I was worried till I looked in the mirror and I went, hello? I think I'm safe here. Hello?
I get one of those mirrors.
But bottom line, here's how you know it's ridiculous. Now, I don't know. Is this the Beer season 5 being evaluated?
No, it's 4. It's 4. Last year's season.
4 didn't deserve a damn thing. All right? But you're still giving acting nominations to Steve Carell, who plays one character, and Martin Short, who plays Martin Short. No one else. That Martin Short, I worked with him one night. He is a one-trick pony.
But what a trick. I love Martin Short.
But you're still like, this guy did something impressive. He did what he always does. Steve Carell, I know Rhea loves this stupid show, Rooster.
I do.
It's a great show.
Very good.
She's right. It's a great show.
Stinks. It stinks because he does nothing he's the reactor. He goes, oh my God, I'm shocked. Oh, that's funny. It's all crap. You understand? Steve Carell hasn't done anything good in a decade since 40-year-old virgin. I swear to God, Rhea, it's the same guy.
I'm sorry, I'm
Over
a
and
Steve Carell
over.
fan.
Yeah.
The show is good. It's a good show. Of course, I can't think of the name of it right now because you kind of I wasn't expecting you to go. It's what's the name of that show, Jay?
The one that we
Rooster.
like, Rooster.
Rooster. That's it,
Yeah,
Rooster.
on HBO.
I love her. I actually in that show, the woman who plays his daughter is fantastic.
She
She's
is
She
really
good.
good. Yeah.
deserved she deserved
Yes.
an Emmy nod. She's phenomenal. I
Does
love
he
her in that.
deserve it? Does he deserve what?
I think he's great in it. Yeah, I would have
He's
given him
he's
one.
It's
really good.
him. It's not an acting job. It's Steve. Show up and be yourself again.
And Martin Short, I'm assuming, got it for Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
Also a phenomenal show. And when he's on the screen, I love it.
Yeah, he's great. I don't have problems with that. Rhea, do you have any other problems with the Emmys like Angelo does, or do you think they made good choices this year?
Well, see, I haven't seen The Pit yet. So I'm not a medical drama person because I'm a little bit, I worked with Angelo and Al, who are two of the worst hypochondriacs you'll ever meet in the entire world. But when I watch medical stuff, I'm thinking, oh my God, this strange thing is going to happen to me. So I was never an ER fan. So and what I understand is that ER, The Pit is kind of a knockoff or a continuation of ER. So I'm not a medical drama, so I don't know, but I know people who love it. But I'm not surprised about the bear. Here's the thing: is Eben, what's his name? Eben Moss
Moss
Baccarat.
Baccarat. Yeah.
Moss Baccarat. He's a
great.
phenomenal actor. He
Yes.
should be nominated every single year because even when the bear sucks, he's the best part about it.
You're 100% right. I got to just one more ridiculous. All these awards for hacks, Jay.
Yeah.
I watched religiously the first 3 seasons. Please. After season 2, it sucked.
Yeah, I don't
was
understand.
The same thing. It was her fighting with the assistant back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, they're happy. Oh, they're unhappy. They're feuding. They're young. How does it get 24 awards or whatever it got? It's crazy.
That I don't understand. And I will tell you 2 things, Angelo. One, I worked with Noah Wiley on a screenplay that never got made. I have his phone number, so if your wife is interested, I will send over his cell number. And second, I once worked on and I've told this story on the radio, but I don't think I've ever told it on the podcast. I once worked on a awards show that was giving a memorial award, not a memorial award, like a Lifetime Achievement Award to Andy Garcia. And I said to the organizers, well, that's an interesting choice, Andy Garcia. Why him? And they said he was the first person to say yes to appearing at the award show. They had gone to 4 other people who had said no. Andy Garcia said yes, so he gets a Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's the way awards work. I just got to mention one thing because Andy Garcia was on our show.
That's cool.
Right.
He's promoting his movie City Island. And let me just say, one of the most gracious, nice human beings you'll ever meet. It was such an honor. He seemed to have no ego. And he is Andy Garcia right now is in Landman. Right?
Yes.
This corrupt businessman. He is brilliant in it. Andy Garcia, I'm so glad his name came up. He is indicative of what an actor is like when he actually has a great range.
Yes.
This is acting, not Steve Carell. The real acting is people like Andy Garcia. He's brilliant.
He's really good, and he's also the winner of a Lifetime Achievement Award that was very special to him and to everybody else. And you know who deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award, Angelo Cataldi, other than you, for all of the contributions you've made to the world. But our great sponsor, Steven Singer, should probably get one from the National Jewelers Association for all the great stuff he does with jewelry. Tell me about him.
And here's the great part about Steven. He probably wouldn't accept it. Seriously, the thing about Steven is he doesn't want to be a part of the club. You understand? With a lot of guys, they go, well, I'm a jeweler now, so I'm going to raise my prices and then I'll negotiate them down when we get to that point. And I'll do all the things, I'll hold sales and big stuff like that. Steven doesn't want to be part of that fraternity. Do you understand? Right. Steven wants to think for himself, create a business that works in his mind, and then put it out there to the public and see how it goes. And here's how it goes. He's been around for more than 4 decades now. He's got amazing jewelry at a fair price, and a tremendous buying experience. What more could you look for than that? He would win every Lifetime Achievement Award and would never accept one. Rhea Hughes.
And remember, like, it might have been 20 years ago when he started the Gold Dip Rose,
Yep.
and it was just a phenomenon. I know Gail, I think, has like a dozen roses in every
Yep.
different color. They're always a huge hit. When I show you the one they have out now in honor of the 250th anniversary of our country, it will blow you away. So let me see if you guys can see it.
Oh my God.
So it's red at the base and
Oh,
white, and then if you look in the petals, there are stars. It's
wow.
abs. I popped
I
on there
love
earlier
that.
today, and I went, "Oh, okay, I need this." I mean, it's one of the most beautiful
Oh,
roses that I've seen. So go to I Hate Steven Singer 250th anniversary. He's done a million beautiful roses. I think this might be the most beautiful one I've ever seen.
yeah, you didn't help me there, Rhea, because I haven't gotten my wife one of those in 3.5 years since I retired and would have to pay. But I will
Well,
pay for that one. It's so beautiful.
pay for it, or
Yes.
Jay's going to give your wife Noah Wiley's number.
In fact, Noah Wiley's sending one to your wife right now. You
All
got to
right,
hurry up,
stop
Angelo.
it, Jay. You're a troublemaker. The other quarter of 8 to Walnut, now also in Newtown, IHateStevenSinger.com.
Very nicely done. And the only thing America loves more than Steven Singer Jewelers and the 250th anniversary of this great nation is Rhea Hughes talking about British television every week. What do you got for us this week, Rhea?
Things you guys know I've kind of trained you over the years, the cozy mysteries, which these are
Yes.
just kind of fun, breezy ones. Pass by this a million times. It's called Mrs. Sidhu Investigates. It's Sidhu. She's Indian, living in Britain, and she's a caterer. She's a widow, but she's got like a kid who's around 20, and he's kind of a layabout. Lost his most recent job. He goes to start a new catering job at a high-end spa, and her niece works there. And there's a murder. The niece gets accused. A cop comes in, and she's like, "No, she couldn't." But it's almost like Angela Lansbury in Murder She Wrote, a
Yes.
complete civilian solving crimes, but she's a riot. She's funny. She drives like an insane woman, which always makes me laugh. And I should have wrote this down. The guy who is a detective that she heads with. He's been a detective in several other different series of British shows. He left a show, and I want to say it was Grace. He left Grace, which I love. Highly recommend it. I was so disappointed when he left Grace because he was one of my favorite character actors. He's terrific. The two of them together, like I said, it's about 5 or 6 episodes. It has not been greenlit for a second season. It came out in 2023. So people are calling it a quiet cancellation, which it shouldn't be. It's a fun show, the mystery, but it's just I enjoyed it. Like I said, I like to watch stuff when I'm cooking, and I
Sure.
had the show on, and she made me laugh, and I enjoyed it. The mystery was kind of secondary. The character's really good. It's called Mrs. Sidhu, Sidhu, investigates on Acorn.
Love it. Very nicely done. Thank you, Rhea. Angela, what do you got for us this week?
It just occurred to me that I'm highly recommending a movie that is out right now, available also on Amazon and Apple, featuring someone who primarily plays himself in every movie he does, but not entirely. All right. I'm talking about the movie Power Ballad, starring Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. And it's exactly what the title says. Paul Rudd is a wedding singer who's been slunking around for 20 years. He is also a songwriter. He meets the Nick Jonas character, who is playing basically Nick Jonas, a former boy band guy who's gone out on his own. And they're hanging out after a wedding, and Nick Jonas hears the song that Paul Rudd wrote, steals it, and makes it a massive hit. That's the story. Now, here's what's amazing about the movie. This is why the movie's so great. Other than the fact that Paul Rudd is playing his usual highly likable character,
Yes.
Yeah.
who sings very, very well.
It's him?
Rhea, they put out the soundtrack, and there's
Whoa.
more Paul Rudd in the soundtrack than there is Nick Jonas.
Ah,
Can you imagine?
Wow.
But the director, the writer, and the composer is a guy named John Carney. You probably remember him once. Flora and Song, Sing Song, Sing Street. There's a whole bunch of them that he does. The whole movie comes down to this: is the song any good? No one's going to. The song has to be great. Like there was a movie 100 years ago, "You Light Up My Life," and it all came down to whether or not the song was great. The song was great. The song in this movie is fantastic, and it
Wow.
makes everything else work. And they do it. There's a point where Paul Rudd sings it. There's a point where Nick Jonas sings it. You can buy either version on
Wow.
it's really good. Again, a terrific story, a lot of drama, a lot of fun. And when you're done, you feel good. They say a feel-good movie, power ballad. Highest recommendation in weeks, if not months.
Paul Rudd. I'll watch a movie with Paul Rudd in it. You're right, Ange. He's incredibly likable.
In fact, I brought up to Jay, I hope we're going to tackle it next couple of weeks. Paul Rudd and Jason Bateman are not the same person, but they're having the same career.
yeah.
Right? Aren't they? I mean, think about it. Good looking guys, does a lot of light comedy, dabbles in a couple of other things here or there. And I think it's fascinating that they're both having great success right now. This movie is incredibly good. You will love it.
We are definitely going to talk about that next week, and I will say that it's the length of their careers is what I really want to tackle because Jason Bateman's been around since I was a kid. I think we're the exact same age, and he started acting when he was 7, and now he's been famous for 40 years. So we're going to talk about that next week. Angelo, what did we talk about this week, though?
All right, you want to see Obsession? You can buy it like I did on Amazon or Apple. Moana is in theaters now, but no one's going to see it. If you want to compare it to the movie that's really sent The Rock down the hill, Smashing Machine is available on HBO Max, as is The Pit with my wife's new crush, Noah Wyle. The Bear, which didn't get any awards, I'm sorry, season 5 deserves a lot of them. It's really, really good. Yeah. That's on Hulu. If you want to see Steve Carell play the same character for the 9th different project, he's available with Rooster on HBO Max. The Cozy Mysteries, Mrs. Sadu Investigates, is available on Acorn, 1 season only. Power Ballad on Amazon and Apple. And that's what we got for this week, Jay.
That man right there is Angelo Cataldi. You can buy his book Loud at angelocataldi.com, at amazon.com or audible.com. You can get his follow-up book soon to be released. My wife left me for Noah Wyle after Jay sent her the number, which will be released sometime in 2028. Rhea Hughes is available every single morning at the WIP Morning Show. You can listen worldwide on the Odyssey app, or you can check out her
I'm off the next 2 days, just to let you know, because I'm too stressed out to work.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. Totally
My son is on a flight to New Zealand, and I cannot handle it. So
I don't blame you, Rhea. That's a
good choice to be off. But next week you can listen to Rhea on the Odyssey app, or you can check out her great Instagram page, which is Rhea Hughes 94 WIP, or you can check out my Instagram or my YouTube, which, guys, just crossed 100,000 followers.
Wow.
You're going to start seeing a play button in the back. It's an award you get from YouTube. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. If you like crazy liberals, you're going to love my page. Check it out. And also make sure you check out if you like the Silver Play Award, you'll love the gold from Steven Singer, which is actual gold that you can buy. Check him out. And we will be back next week with even more great TV content.